Now it's time for our weekly home video segment. The fourth Superman movie is out in theaters this weekend. Warner Brothers would not screen it early for critics. Not a good sign of a rule, as you know. So we thought, in honor of Superman's 50th anniversary, we'd look instead at some vintage Superman films that have been newly released on home video. And my pick is a silly little trifle called Superman and the Mole Men, a 1951 film made just as the TV show was getting started. Lois Lane, however, here is played by Phyllis Coates instead of Noel Neill on TV. George Reeves, however, is Superman. The story is about a couple of nice mole men from the center of the earth is hollow, in case you didn't know it, Roger, who are greeted by hostility by ignorant townspeople. The film, of course, is trying to teach us not to be afraid of strangers. These mole men look like midgets with shower caps, and they come to the surface after some Texans dig the world's deepest oil well. The mole men are nice to a little girl, even playing ball with her, but when her mother appears, well, you know adults.
Why, it's getting prettier. It sort of shines all over. Are you magic?
Love that scream. The men in town go crazy, and it's up to Superman to put down the vigilante mob.
It's men like you that make it difficult for people to understand one another. You were warned nothing would come of this but trouble.
What's interesting here as you see this film, Roger, is that they're not nice to Superman. Remember how the townspeople we all think love Superman? These guys hate Superman. So it's actually kind of campy fun to watch this picture. It does, of course, recall one's childhood because it's so close to the TV show. It's not a great film, but nostalgia is worth something, and I didn't mind sitting through Superman and the Mole Men. I like looking at guys with shower caps on their heads. It's a lot more interesting, frankly, than Summer School. And that I do mean, it's not a gratuitous remark. This movie, with all of its screwball things, has some quality to it. I only fast-forwarded a couple of times on my tape player.
I know what you mean when you talk about Summer School. We laugh at these old movies, but actually these movies were sincere in really wanting to entertain people.
Yes, you got it.
And if you look at my selection, I took this serial that came out in 1948 or 49.
Yeah.
The special effects are really bad, as we're about to see, but they're bad in a way that shows that somebody was really trying. They didn't have any money to make a rocket ship, but they made the best rocket ship they could. And that is a spirit that's been lost. The movie opens, of course, with the origin of Superman when he escapes the exploding planet Krypton as a baby in a small rocket ship built by his father. Now look at these special effects. On Earth, the super baby is adopted by the Kent family. When he comes of age, they give him his mission in life.
The world needs a man of such extraordinary capabilities. That is why you must leave this farm. You must go where they can be best put to use.
That's Kirk Alyn as Superman. Here he is on a case.
Oh, that's the window. The door is over here.
Yes, I know. Up, up, and away!
I love the way he opens the Venetian blinds there. It's just a good thing the window was open.
Yeah, I love the line he has to say, up, up, and away, as if, you know, either you can fly or you can't. Up and up away just doesn't make it.
I always thought that up, and away were the magic words that made him fly.
Try it next.
I really knew, but it was Shazam, Captain Marvel. That was the magic word. The funny thing about Kirk Alyn there is that he's credited in this movie as playing Clark Kent. And the credits say Superman is played by himself. So they didn't want to destroy the illusion.
I wonder who his agent was. Okay, let's recap our reactions to the movies on the show. We both hated Jaws the Revenge and can't believe that this is the film that Michael Caine stayed on location for instead of picking up his Oscar in Hollywood for Ann and Her Sisters. 2 thumbs down. We split on A Man in Love. I found Peter Coyote's character to be a smug bore, but Roger felt this adult love story was passionate and thoughtful. His thumb is up, mine's down. And Summer School ought to carry one of those barcodes like a product at a grocery store. It's a cheap, generic summer movie. Totally mindless, 2 thumbs down. And finally, 2 thumbs up for, I think, the best film on this show, Wish You Were Here, featuring a smashing performance by newcomer Emily Lloyd as a rebellious, hurting, but surviving young woman.
Emily Lloyd is really somebody to look for. Now I want to make a correction from last week's show. We reviewed Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and I complained because the movie was reformatted into widescreen instead of the golden frame that it used to be filmed in, taking off about 25% of the total picture. And at one point I said, look at that little bird flying off to its parents' nest. You can't see the nest. Well, it turns out in the original movie you couldn't see the nest either, and so I stand corrected. That bird just flew off into the forest. But I'm still correct that the 25% of the picture is missing, and that's a shame, I think.
That's it for this week. Next week, 2 more big summer movies.